Showmasters, I think, have been a real good injection in the arm for Northern Ireland in general. It gives the public a chance to meet some of their heroes, if you like.
For this year, I think the con actually has benefited from the change of venue. We've moved now from the Odyssey Arena to the Titanic Exhibition Centre, and I think that it's lent itself very well because of the sheer size of it. It's also helped in terms of the footfall. I think as people are walking through, it definitely doesn't feel as cramped or as crammed, and I think that is making people a bit more happy to walk around and enjoy the day.
This feels more designed for this purpose. Last year we were out in the main entrance, so everyone was walking past us, so we're getting more attention this year.
I personally think this is a better venue for it. It's more spacious, which means you can get round the stalls, have a good look, without getting pushed.
Plenty of new retailers, kind of interesting kind of stalls as well. Yeah, we've had a great time with it. Our guys are always popular on the floor, kind of for pictures.
The benefit for us is that you're generally nowadays finding families who aren't traditionally board game players. They're hitting us as soon as they come in and going, oh, what's this? Oh, this is interesting, but it needs time. We'll come back to it. You realise in a lot of cases they are going away going, wow, this is awesome. We could. Where do we get this? Where can we get this? Because we're doing a lot of Euro games rather than your traditional sort of board games. And those games keep everyone playing until the game's over. And that's brilliant. That's what's awesome to watch.
I think for what we do, it doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
You put it in a field, we're going to go. Well, maybe not to the mud, maybe, but I don't think the venue makes that much of a difference. Other people will disagree.
If you have somewhere to park, it's handy to get there. I mean, inside it's just a big room with lots of stalls, so maybe somewhere with a good aircon.
I was going to say, I'm glad that it's cooler in here.
I've worked in film and television for 5 years now as a makeup artist. I've kind of specialised now into special effects makeup more than beauty. I then decided last year that I was going to start up Dead On Prosthetics as a company so that I could start selling small prosthetic pieces which are professional grade to the general public. I've had a lot more cosplayers being interested, and I've one cosplayer that I got from last year's Comic-Con that has come back to me throughout the year for applications and asked for props and things to be made for.
Well, the last 2 days in Belfast have been pretty good, yeah. Everyone is very welcoming, but I knew that anyway, because I've been to Belfast since I was a child. My grandmother's from Portadown, and I had my holidays when I was a little wee Wayne. When I came to Belfast, I used to be frightened of it. It was dark, it was dingy, it was industrial, it felt dangerous. And of course, it was. Visually, it's changed dramatically. And down by the docks and down by Harlan and Wolff, it's just unrecognisable.
One of the big things for me that's been lovely to see is just so many people coming out in cosplay and coming out just being open in what they're doing. I think it's nice to see that a lot of people are willing to go out and take a risk, and they're in an atmosphere like this, they don't feel self-conscious. They're happy to go out and just be themselves.
First got into cosplaying in the most recent time with one of the charity organisations here, joining up, going out doing charity events. And then I just kind of franchised out on my own from there.
Met so many new friends doing it. I even met my other half through cosplay. And then I was like, I can help charity this way. So straight away, that was it. It was just like I used to do the shave or dye challenge for the hair. I would dye my hair every year for breast cancer or that sort of thing. And I was like, I can maximise this now, I can do more. So we've done like charity prints, we've done charity photo shoots, we've turned up at charity events to help raise money for it. It's just any way we can help in any way, and it just makes me feel good.
It actually started with making things. I used to study as an animator, but then as of first year I got more and more into the behind the scenes of live action movies like Batman or Iron Man or whatever. And then eventually I took the plunge and bought my first kilo of clay and 500 grams of plaster and some dipping latex. It just evolved from there.
One of my friends, he's been cosplaying for years, and the MCM Comic Con was coming to Belfast, and it was the first Comic Con that we'd heard of, so it was like, we'll just all dress up for a bit of fun and we'll go. And I ended up dressing up, and as soon as I went through the door, I was bombarded with photos, and I couldn't move for maybe a couple of minutes without going past certain points. And I thought, this is pretty cool. I didn't realise that people actually like this stuff. So it's now became a thing where I go every year, and every year I've managed to be in the papers as well. So I'm keeping up with the tradition this year.
I started before I realised it was a thing. I kind of was like, oh, like dressing up at Halloween, but what if we did it at other times as well? And I remember I started doing it in college. Like I had a Spider-Man costume. I was like, I spent a fair bit of money on this. I'm going to wear it whenever I want.
I've really enjoyed filming Comic-Con 2016. I think the guests we've had this year, it's again another step up. I've got to meet so many icons of cinema, so for me it's been really successful.